question for answer number 223, understanding order number 80, the member being absent, the question lapsed. And thereafter, there was consideration of the Criminal Procedure Code Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2025, and it will be read the third time today. The other bill that was under consideration yesterday was the Food Reserve Bill, National Assembly Bill number 33 of 2025. It's going to be read the third time today. And the Agriculture Marketing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 35 of 2025, was read the third time and passed. And lastly, the State-Owned Enterprises Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2025, it was read the third time and passed. After consideration of those government bills, there was resumption of debate on thanks, the President's address, and notice was taken at 17:02 that a quorum was not formed, and so Madam Speaker ordered the bells to be rung, the House counted, and quorum having been formed, business resumed, and there being no further debate, the debate on the motion stood adjourned. And so yesterday the House adjourned accordingly at 18:10 hours. And so that's the business that was considered yesterday. In case you missed out, you now have an idea of what was transacted on the floor of the House. Time now to look at today's business as we expect the Speaker's procession to make its way into the chamber just a minute or seconds before 09 hours. We expect a business statement to be delivered for the period 3rd to 6th March 2026 and 17th to 20th March 2026. We expect some urgent matters without notice if there will be any. And today we have honor the Vice President's question time, 45-minute segment that accords the members of Parliament to ask our honor the Vice President questions without notice. So that's coming up after some announcements, and the House is expected to consider one question for oral answer, understanding order number 82, and 3 questions for oral answer, understanding order number 80. And so before we run you through some of the questions that are expected to be considered, we'll have a look at some bills that are going to be under consideration at a third reading stage. And so the first one is the Criminal Procedure Code Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2025 is coming up at third reading stage. We also have the Food Reserve Bill, National Assembly Bill number 33 of 2025 is also coming up at a third reading stage. And then there's going to be resumption of a consideration of question for oral answer, understanding order number 80, that's question 221. After that, there's going to be resumption of debate on thanks the President's address. The President was in the House last week on Friday, the 20th of February, and he did address the House and the nation on the progress made in the application of national values and principles. So members of Parliament are actually debating this particular speech that was made by the President last week on Friday, the 20th of February. And so as we await for the Speaker's procession, we'll have a look at some of the questions that will be considered on the floor of the House. Question 230 is expected to come from Mr. Mkosa of Chinsali. These are questions understanding order number 80. Mr. Mkosa wants to ask the Minister of Water, Development and Sanitation a question in 5 parts. How many community boreholes were non-functional in Chinsali district as of September 2025? And more questions will follow. Just about now, we take you live to the floor of the House as we have parliamentary proceedings. Good morning.
Members of Parliament, Madam Speaker.
And the team of Zambia, proud and free, land of wealth and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We want freedom's fight for Let us, O her people, join as one, brothers, under the sun, oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise be, bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Remain we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to consider with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of such important responsibilities in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you've committed to our charge. Amen.
Good morning. Live visuals on Parliament television. Business will only resume once a quorum is constituted. 1/3 of members of Parliament need to be in the House in order for business to be transacted. And so as soon as that is done, business will commence. Today we have Her Honor, the Vice President's question time. We also expect Her Honor, the Vice President, who is also leader of government business, to present a business statement for the period 3rd to 6th March 2026 and 17th to 20th
Honorable
March
members that are attending
2026.
virtually, would they please log in so that we have a quorum?
And so the House is expected to consider one question for oral answer, understanding order number 82, and 3 questions for oral answer, understanding order number 80. We expect Mr. Chonde of Milenge to ask the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security whether the government has any plans to construct a correctional facility in Milenge district. If so, when the plans will be implemented, and if there are no such plans, why. We also expect Mr. Mkosa of Chinsali to ask the Minister of Fisheries and Livestock how many motorbikes there were for the Fisheries and Livestock Extension Office in Chinsali district as of September 2025. Of course, the House will consider some government bills at 3rd reading stage. These include the Criminal Procedure Court Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2025, the Food Reserve Bill, National Assembly Bill number 33 of 2025. All these will be considered at 3rd reading stage, and will have resumption of consideration of question for answer understanding order number 80. That's question 221. And business will end with resumption of debate on thanks, the President's address. Members of Parliament are currently adding their voice to the speech that was delivered by the President of the Republic, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, last week on Friday. And so as soon as a quorum is constituted, business will resume. We expect Her Honor the Vice President's question time, 45-minute segment, and Her Honor the Vice President, also leader of government business, is already, in the House, and we expect her to present a business statement for the period 3rd to 6th March 2026 and 17th to 20th March 2026. And so I would urge you to stay tuned right here on Parliament Television as we await for a quorum to be constituted and business will resume in a short while. Pleasant viewing and good morning.
Order, honorable members. I have 3 announcements to make. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the Speaker's Gallery of Mr. Alex Togutu, IPU representative from Kenya, who is visiting Zambia on official duties. I wish on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia to receive our guest and warmly welcome him in our midst. I thank you. You may be seated. The second announcement, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Great North Road Academy in Lusaka District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome the visitors in our midst. Thank you. You may be seated. The last announcement, honorable members, I wish to inform the House that at its meeting held on Thursday, 26th February 2026, the House Business Committee resolved to defer the sitting of the House from the week 10th to 13th March 2026 to the following week, that is 17th to 20th March 2026. This resolution followed requests from honorable members that they wanted to attend 2 important national events in their constituencies: the International Women's Day on 8th March and the Youth Day on 12th March 2026. In this regard, the House Business Committee resolved to realign the sitting of the House from the week 10th to 13th March 2026 to the following week of 17th to 20th March 2026. I thank you. Business statement, Her Honor the Vice President.
Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that the House Business Committee met on Thursday, 26 February 2026 to determine and schedule business of the House for the period 3rd to 20th March 2026. As indicated by the Honorable Madam Speaker, the sitting of the House for the period stated above will be as follows. 1. 3rd to 6th March 2026, and 2. 17th to 20th March 2026. In view of the foregoing, Madam Speaker, the House Business Committee determined and scheduled business for consideration for the 2 weeks as set below. A. Announcements. The Honorable Speaker may make announcements if there will be any. B. Rulings. The Honorable Speaker will render rulings if there will be any. C. Ministerial statements. Honorable Ministers will render ministerial statements on topical issues if there will be any. D. Parliamentary committee reports. Committee reports will be considered if there will be any. E. Reports on international conferences. The House will consider the report of the Zambian delegation to the 58th Plenary Assembly of the Southern African Development Community Parliamentary Forum, SADC-PF, a conference held in Durban, South Africa from 30th November to 5th December December 2026 on Thursday, 5th March 2026. F, bills. The following bills will be considered. Name of the bill, stage and date of consideration. The Banking and Financial Services Bill, National Assembly Bill number 36 of 2025, second reading on 4th March 2026. The Tobacco Control Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2025, second reading, will be considered in due course. The Disaster Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2026, second reading, will be considered in due course. Water Supply and Sanitation Services Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026, second reading, will be considered in due course. Any other bills that may be received will be scheduled accordingly. G, private members' motion. The following private members' motions are proposed for consideration. Name of the bill, subject matter, and date of presentation. Mr. Sika Ngombe, MP, will present a private members' bill on review and strengthen, entitled Review and Strengthen Legal and Administrative Frameworks Governing the Acquisition of Land by Foreign Nationals in Zambia. This will be considered on the 3rd of March 2026. Mr. Mfube, MP, will present a matter on allocating allocate 30% of the CDF to sponsor vulnerable students who apply for diploma and degree courses. This will be considered on the 4th of March 2026. Mr. Ekatakwe, MP, the subject is establish a National Ethics Committee. This will be considered on the 5th of March 2026. Mr. Mtayachalo, MP, on the subject, regulate the registration of trade unions to minimize multiplicity within industries. This will be considered on 17th March 2026. Mr. S. Chanda, MP, subject is establish a national mineral reserve. This will be considered on 18th March 2026. H, questions. Honorable ministers will respond to about 50 questions for oral and written answer. The questions are contained in Appendix 1 of this statement, which will be circulated to all honorable members. Further, the details of the questions are contained in the notice of questions for Friday, 12th September 2025, and Friday, 28th November 2025. And Wednesday, 4th February 2026, which were circulated to all honorable members. I, questions on standby. The questions on standby to replace questions that may not be placed on the order paper on the designated day due to unforeseen circumstances are contained in Appendix 2 and will be circulated to all honorable members as part of the business statement. J, motion of thanks. As earlier indicated in the previous business statement, the motion of thanks to the President's address will continue next week. However, in view of the realignment of business alluded to earlier, the motion of thanks will conclude on Wednesday, 18th March 2026. K, adjournment sine die. Adjournment of the House sine die is envisaged to take place on Friday, 20th March 2026. In this regard, on Thursday, 19th March 2026, I will move a motion to suspend relevant standing orders to enable the House complete all business that will be on the order paper on Friday, 20th March 2026, and thereafter adjourn sine die. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the House Business Committee and in accordance with Standing Order number 44 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024, I have the pleasure to present the business for the last 2 weeks of this meeting to this August House. I thank you, Madam.
Thank you. Honorable members, I have one more announcement to make before we move to the next issue. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Njase Girls Secondary School in Choma District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome the visitors in our midst. I thank you. You may take your seat. We can now move to the next segment, urgent matters without notice. Urgent matters without notice. The Honorable Member for Mongo Central. The Honorable Member for Luansha. I take it that there is no urgent matter. We can now move on to Her Honor the Vice President's question time. Her Honor the Vice President's question time. The Honorable Member for Bwana Mkubwa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And good morning, Your Honor, the Vice President. And thank you, I received your card in December, though I got it very late. Thank you so much. Madam Speaker, some weeks ago, a polio virus was detected in Lusaka, in some areas. And Madam Speaker, I wanted to ask Her Honor the Vice President if the Ministry of Health, through data mapping, they're able to ascertain the hotspots. And we do take cognizance of the fact that there's been ongoing polio vaccination in the country, as alluded to by the Acting Minister of Health. But, Madam Speaker, we wanted to find out at all if the Ministry of Health, using data mapping, are able to ascertain the extent and other areas to ensure that they curb or escalate vaccination of the aforesaid virus to ensure that our children are protected, as it were. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Though there was a ministerial statement over the same. Don't know, we are not supposed to repeat. There was a ministerial statement by the Acting Minister of Health where he, I think, gave a comprehensive report on the same. Okay. Pardon? Would you want to respond? Or it was already dealt with? The Honorable Member for Chama North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Good morning, Your Honor, the Vice President. Your Honor, the Vice President, following the passing of Bill 7 in this August House, the Electoral Commission of Zambia has embarked on a delimitation exercise consulting the public on the creation of new constituencies. Your Honor, the Vice President, only 70 constituencies are up for grabs, but the ECZ has embarked on this delimitation process in 116 constituency districts, meaning that 46 districts will not benefit from this process. So I believe that this process cost money, public funds. Now, why did the ECZ embark on this consultative process in all the 116 constituencies when they are aware that only the 70 constituencies are going to be created? Because don't you think, Your Honor, the Vice President, that this is going to cause a lot of problems after the ECZ announces the 70 new created constituencies? I submit.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Member for Chairman North, Mr. Mtachalo, for that question. I think he gives a process that began, and I think, Madam, really that this House was given an opportunity to sit with ECZ, Honourable Members, and the ECZ explained the process. Any concerns by members of this House should have been raised there, because these are things that ECZ consulted with us, and we should have said, maybe you shouldn't go that way. But consultation is costly. Democracy is costly. Consultation is costly, because I see that that is your final concern. Don't you know so much money will be spent? But Zambians had to be carried along. Even when they were going, of course, they had announced that there would be only 70. But they had to listen and see, get to the ground and see where the real need for the 70 would arise. And I think that is the way. It is not like they should sit alone and just make all the decisions. Today, if they have to announce which 70, one would have to probably get the rationale that they would have gotten from the ground. That is the purpose of consulting. So that even the 46 that may not benefit, if it is 46, it could be more than that, because some constituencies can end up getting, more, or, some districts. Remember what we were told, that this will not affect districts. A district like Lusaka has 7. So we don't know whether all 7 are supposed to get a constituency each. But as they listened, then they established why a constituency should be given to Mandevu and not to Chawama, just for example. So this is the purpose of consultation, colleagues. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Mongu Central.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, the Vice President. Madam Vice President, in any democracy worldwide, a health democracy for that matter, there's always an alternative, an opposition. When we were in opposition as UPND, we were able to spell out our policies on agriculture, on mining, and many other sectors, so that the Zambian people can have an alternative and choose their course of life. Currently, Madam Vice President, we have an opposition which is clueless, bankrupt on any idea of running this country. They are clueless on mining, clueless on agriculture, clueless even how to attract business in this country.
What is the question?
My question, Madam Vice President, is what would you advise the opposition in this country so that they can be relevant, even a little bit, to the Zambian people? I thank you, Madam Vice President.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Member for that. Basically, what it starts with is in a democracy, and I want to completely. Honourable, you ask your question.
Order.
Thank you, Madam. I want to agree with his first statement that in any democracy there must be opposition. But what is the opposition supposed to be? It's supposed to be a government in waiting. And if it is a government in waiting, it should also indicate the policies that they would want to come and implement during their time. We want to spend time on funny politics, finding who is dead, who is alive. Those are not relevant to the Zambian people. What is relevant, therefore, my advice to colleagues, is that you have to articulate that which you want to come and do better. It's not just what you wanted to come and do. What you want to come and do better. And in doing that, you have to show that we are not doing well. You don't come and start talking about an economy that is thriving and say we will do better. People will question you. It's very important, colleagues. What is it that you want? What is it? Lundaze? Is that Lundaze? It is very Honorable Nyirenda. I will ask Mkushi to raise a point
Honorable
of
Member
order.
for Lundazi, you have not been given the floor, Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam. I just like to say the truth. Colleagues, you have to come up. What do you think you do better in agriculture? What do you think you can come and do better in mining? What are you coming to do better in improving the economy? Do you want to come and increase the debts as you imagine? Are you going to bring back this nation into debt trap? Are you going to come and sink the mining industry? Are you going to come and stop free education, madam? Are you coming? What are you coming to do? That is what opposition does. When you stand there, we should listen. But if you are standing there just to do politics, you are going, very soon you are going. Is that a debate for this house? Is that a debate for this house? That we are all going to see. Come September, we will still be sitting here as a party. So please, go and draw out your policies clearly. And for those that were in the previous government, you have to convince the Zambian people that you will not go back to reckless borrowing. Don't bring issues of you are borrowing. Which country doesn't borrow? Do you know even superpowers have debt? Yes. It is what kind of borrowing? Are you going to assure the Zambian people that we will go back to reckless borrowing? Are you going to bring the Zambians to tell them the mining sector, we are going to grab from the private sector? Draw your policies, Honorable Chairperson. You are supposed to be, or you are president also. Draw your policies.
The Honorable Member for Sikongo.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the people of Western Province are so proud in general, and the people of Congo in particular, of the works of President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND administration, to the extent that they have nicknamed President Hakainde Hichilema the miracle president. A president that has brought us free education, a president that has enhanced the CDF, to the extent that today you go to Congo, you find classroom blocks all over, water is all over, canals are being dredged, police stations are being dredged. Now, Madam Vice President, this miracle president, what he has done in Western Province, and the support that the people have given to him, and are promising to him in the 2026 general elections, is this, what kind of support does he command in the rest of the other provinces of this country? I thank you.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I would like to thank the Honorable Member for Congo for that question, which he premises on the promises of the President and the United Party for National Development. I love the name of our party. He says the President is now Miracle President.
All the honorable members.
Madam Speaker, Miracle President. I like that. You know, a miracle is not a miracle if it is the expected. A miracle is that which is unexpected when it happens. When this president, Madam Speaker, took over this government, we were in terrible economic default, problems, debt, default. This is where we were. We literally had no one to lend us. This is where we were. No jobs were being created. Let us not pretend. Who heard of employing? Somebody was saying employment non-existent. How can you say employment is non-existent? What kind of jobs are you talking about? When we talk these jobs, even the figures that we give here on employment by government are not the only figures. Jobs are being created out there. And this is what we promised. Following the 8th National Development Plan, it developed with the help of those that have gone. Jobs created under who? There are jobs there. Jobs and jobs by private sector. Today, I will give you one little example. Fertilizer was a cash cow for many business people. They imported at a high cost. Today, we are exporters. Is that not a miracle? Today we are exporters. Is that not a miracle? In a country, Honorable, where people dropped out of school because there was no resource. Some honorable member a few years ago, I will remind the House, Madam, before 2011, an opposition party promised free education. Maybe we forget. They promised free education. I think they borrowed from people who partnered with them, which was UPND. They partnered with that party for a while. And when that party won in 2011, which was the Patriotic Front, I don't know whether it still exists, the Patriotic Front, when it won, one honorable member responded, the minister said, who can give you free education? Yeah, you know, that's why you're asking. You will tell me he is not here to defend himself. So I leave it there. It's important that you own it, because honesty doesn't destroy anything. Who? Then I was listening. I said, they were promising. Now they realize they can't give free education. And when we came here as UPND, one of the first questions on the first Friday I stood here, Madam, I was asked, where is free education? My children, we are paying. I remember still my response. I said, this is your budget. Just wait. Because that was September. I said, this is your budget. I think members can remember. May I try to remember? This is the truth. Now, today we have free education. Is that not a miracle? Meal allowances were gone. Madam, no meal allowance. Today there is meal allowance. Is that not a miracle? The honorable shouting there, Madam, has or must have some of her own pupils. I am talking of pupils who could not have gone to school. Today, she can send people from Chienge to boarding schools even using CDF. Is that not a miracle? Where we need to say thank you. You know, when we speak like this, it's empowering to the opposition. We are empowering you to go and think a little more, because this government has worked. Under President Mr. Miracle, he has worked. So what are you going to talk about, colleagues? Miracles are happening. Let us think a little harder and see if you can find anything to convince the Zambian people. I'm sorry, madam. Thank you.
Order. The honorable member for Chiengi, there are no points of order. During our honor's question time, the honorable member for Pemba.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. Your Honor, the Vice President, this weekend, people from southern, northern, eastern, including western, in short, all corners of this country, they will be going to Eastern Province to celebrate the Nchwara ceremony. Your Honor, the Vice President, I've seen that this trend, where all chiefs, the majority of them from all corners of this nation, they go to celebrate with their colleagues. I want to hear from you, Your Honor, the Vice President, what does this mean in terms of the unity? The New Dawn government, for the first time, we are seeing that these chiefs are able to meet when there is such a traditional ceremony, including ourselves, the subjects. We have followed the suit. Wherever there is a ceremony, north, east, south, we go and converge together. Your comment, the Vice President.
Her order, the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member for Pemba. In fact, you have reminded me of a very important event. Is it in Nchwara, Nkwala, whatever it is? We want to actually congratulate them for holding yet another ceremony. We congratulate Mpezeni for holding the ceremony. But what is important out of the ceremonies of today, under the leadership of the president, remember, unity is a deliberate thing. It just doesn't happen. You have to work on it. And this is one area where the president has worked to try and foster unity in the country by allowing the chiefs to move from all over. So Nchwara is no longer a Ngoni issue. Nchwara is a national issue. So is Kuomboka. So is Kusefya Pangwena. So is Mutomboko. So is and is and is. Which one? Likumbiliamize. National events. Drawing people together. You know, I want to use a Bemba saying, you allow me, I'll interpret. Utushala ene twalubile imbukilo. If people don't meet and discuss, they will be separated. Yeah, very good. If you shikaransaka, people kwanama. If you can't sit and plan, the carcass will be taken away from you. Coming together, even if your feeling is negative, when you come together, you know a little better, and you appreciate a little better. That is why, being here, I believe that we understand each other better than those outside. Just by this interaction. So this interaction enhances unity. There are parts of the country, if they don't meet with others, they imagine things about others. They imagine. But when you meet, then you say, oh, this is what it is. So yes, what is happening now is a matter of unifying the Zambian people. We appreciate one another as Zambians. We are different, but this is the diversity that we must embrace as Zambians. Today there will be only one dance. I was saying, they only have one dance. One dance. We need variety of dances. You appreciate the dance of the other brother, the other sister. We are different, and yet we are Zambians. And we must remember that. Unity is number one. Unity is what will sustain development. I am deliberately using the words. It's unity that brings the sustenance. And we must work on unity. Unity starts with your heart, madam. It's in the heart of man. You have to love your brother next to you. It doesn't matter what language they speak. It doesn't matter where they come from. They are Zambians, entitled to what you are entitled to. Give space for all of us to grow. Nchwala is therefore a unifying factor. Soon we will go to Kuomboka. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to remind the Honorable Member for Chiengi that we are not in church. Her Honor, the Vice President, is not supposed to preach, but talk or answer questions. The Honorable Member for Kantanchi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Your Honor, the Vice President, the government recently, through the Energy Regulation Board, created an energy fund. Now that energy fund, the purpose of that energy fund is to respond to the supply security, the stability of the availability of the petroleum products, and also to manage the volatility of the oil prices on the market. So the purpose of this fund basically is responding to government moving away from subsidizing the sector. And therefore, there will be no monthly review prices. But I will focus on the mining sector, the impact of this fund and what it will have on the sector. Because the 3-kwacha, which is being proposed, the 3-kwacha that is being proposed...
Just to summarize your
Yes,
question.
Madam Speaker. This is very important. The 3-kwacha that is being proposed by the government to be surcharged by the by the oil companies, to every company in the mining sector that is consuming petroleum products will have a devastating effect on the cost of doing business in the sector. Now, I won't go into the figures because of what is being said in the background, but I wanted to find out, since the mining companies with the oil, the mining companies and the oil marketing companies usually have a hedge fund kind of agreement so that they protect themselves from price volatilities on the oil price market. Now, if this 3-kwacha is implemented, it will mean the cost of business will go up in terms of the operations in the mining sector. Is government going to quickly sit down with the mining sector to try and address this before this good policy is jeopardized? Because it's good that we're moving away from subsidies in the sector. Thank you.
Her Honor, the Vice President, that was a long question.
Thank you very much. I think probably my technical knowledge of his subject is highly limited. And I would not even dare to try and respond unless I get a brief of what is going on, because I don't like pretending. Except just the last part is what I'll respond to. When you say, is government ready to sit down? This government is consultative in nature. If there are true concerns, so I'm not responding to the issues you have raised, because I don't, standing here, I don't have that capacity to be able to respond to the hedge fund, to the contributions and what. But just the sitting down, that's why we have a the private-public forum. The partnership dialogue. That's why we have, the president has put up a dialogue. So it's important, whatever we are putting up in the economy, the stakeholders are called, or the stakeholders raise issues. So I would expect that the stakeholders in mining, in fuel, should be able to call for a meeting. They are free, so that they sit with government to hear the concerns. Otherwise, for me to respond to that, I think I would just be misleading you in that matter. So yes, it's important for government to sit and see the issues of concern and see how we move our economy forward. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Lundazi. No points of order during Her Honor the Vice President's question time. Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Her Honor the Vice President, good morning. I think it's good that I've been given a chance this morning. I've been yearning for it all this time to come and ask you some of the pertinent matters that affect our nation. Her Honor the Vice President, if you want to see how a failed state looks like, there are things that you have to concentrate on. Number one, when you go to the courts of law, the courts are going to be busy dealing with matters, and there will be very few people going to banks to deposit money. Then you should know that this economy is failing. Her Honor, the Vice President of the Republic of Zambia, there are so many opposition members of parliament, opposition leaders who have been arrested. Madam Speaker, I have the chance and the floor which you have given me. There is no limit.
The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Yes, Madam
Please
Speaker.
don't remind me that I gave you a chance. Let's just follow the
Anthony
rules
asked
in
his
the
question
standing
in
order,
5
and
minutes'
my
time.
directive, I was trying to say, the Honorable Member for Lundazi, please summarize your question. You can go ahead.
Madam Speaker, the UPND government has arrested Stotela. The UPND government has arrested Chilangwa. The UPND government has arrested Bowman. The UPND government has arrested Munia Zulu. The UPND government has arrested Nakachinda. The UPND government has been...
Order, Honorable Member, can you bring forth your question? Order. Order, the Honorable Member for Lundazi. Order. Order, the Honorable
Madam
Minister
Speaker,
for Lusaka. Order.
The only way you'll be able to tell that the nation is stable is by seeing how the opposition leaders are being treated.
What
we
is
do
your
not
question?
have JJ Banda is
What
out of
is
this
your
country.
question,
He has
Honorable
run
Member?
for his life. Madam Speaker, Emmanuel Mwamba is not
What
in
is
this
your
country,
question?
coming from the Patriotic Front. The question that I have for you Honor the Vice President
honorable
of
members.
the Republic of Zambia. You have failed to pay farmers on time, and now you are here.
Point of order. Sit down.
Order, honorable
What
members.
about the gassing? Gas
What
Z.
happened in the past?
What about the gassing?
Order, honorable members.
What about the gassing? Gas.
We cannot proceed like this. We won't proceed like this. I'll take another member, the honorable member for Chitambo.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for according me a chance to ask Her Honor a question. Madam Speaker, Her Honor the Vice President is alive to the fact that most constituencies in Zambia right now, as we speak,
Order.
most constituencies in Zambia right now, as we speak, or should I say districts, are submerged in water, and we have a very big challenge. And one of those is Chitambo, Madam Speaker, where our people are submerged in water. I wanted the Honor the Vice President to tell the nation what government is doing to ensure that the people are saved in areas like Shangombo, Chitambo, and so on. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Her Honor the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. For some reason, I didn't get everything the honorable member said, so it becomes difficult for me.
We can ask him to repeat. The
I will
honorable
appreciate,
member
Madam.
for Chitambo in summary. Can you please be specific to the question?
The question is, Madam Speaker, that districts like Lundazi, Chitambo, Shangombo are now in floods. And the people there, some of them are getting displaced. Like in Chitambo, houses are falling and so on. What I wanted the Vice President is to give an assurance or a comment on what government is doing to help these people who are troubled. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Her Honor the Vice President.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would like to thank the honorable member for Chitambo asking a question of serious concern about the people who are found in areas, particularly this year, when floods have really devastated a lot of areas, in low-lying areas, in, like Shangombo, like his own area, like Chilubi is not here, can bear with us. There is short-term and long-term, Madam. What is government going to say to assure the people? There is short-term and long-term. The government normally responds, and we do respond even now, to those that lose the food that they are supposed to survive on. We come through disaster management. In certain areas, we are able to give what we are calling emergency disaster money. But in areas like that, a lot of times, even the market collapses. They have nowhere to buy the food. So we come through in short term to provide, the food that they need for a while. That is short term, because this can't be an, everlasting issue. But here I have stood for long term, working together as leaders in the nation who have been identified by the people. This house is so special, Madam. Every part of this country is represented by somebody here. And therefore, we can think together and find some semi-permanent. I'm yet using semi because there are things beyond human capacity to change. But we can agree, displaced people, do we want them to go back and be displaced again and go back and then food provided for them? So in the long term, it's important to start getting the fact that climate change is not a one-season issue. It has come to stay for a long time. And therefore, we start thinking together, how do we handle the people that are being displaced because of floods? Sometimes even because of drought. Certain areas, it is perennial. It is every year. Let us start identifying where people can be resettled. It's very important. That is in the long term, because government will not have capacity to continuously feed. Many places, as we sit here, are flooded. So what is it that government is doing? When such a situation comes, we are written to, we are told, we provide food for the people in one way or the other. But permanently, they may just need to move. Don't worry about the graves. We have a lot of honor and respect for the graves. But if I'm going to be on my father's grave, that is flooding, I don't know how my father is going to help me. I have a grave for my father. So let us go beyond the graves and look at the living, because the dead are gone. Are we going to have people starve? People have houses collapsing, like you have said? We need to find a permanent solution together. Together, colleagues. We are leaders. The entire country. Shangombo, where are you? Flooding. Chiluvi. I can tell you many places where there are floods.
Thank you.
Including Chavuma, Zambezi, yes. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Mukushi South.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much for giving the people of Mukushi South to ask a question to our Honor the Vice President. Our Honor the Vice President, my question will be anchored on the rule of law. I know that there are a few months remaining for you as you prepare to go, because the people of Zambia are going to vote you out this year. Your Honor the Vice President, from 2021, you have only issued two permits to the opposition political parties, and I can mention the police. They have only issued two, one in Zambia and one in Copperbelt, only from 2021 to one political party, Citizen First. All these other political parties that have applied for public rallies, their permits have been rejected. Your Honor the Vice President, last week, the Tonse Alliance members had a meeting in an enclosed room. Madam Speaker, I need your protection.
Hello, Honorable Member for Mukushi South. I'm listening attentively.
No, but
I
they are
haven't
disturbing
missed
me.
a word from you. That is why you have to ask the question through me to our Honor the Vice President. Please continue.
Last week, Madam Speaker, the members from the Tonse Alliance had an enclosed door meeting. You mean you, where you are a lecturer, you don't know what Tonse is?
Honorable
You, a graduate,
for Mukushi.
Minister of Education.
Honorable Member for Mukushi. I'll give you just 30 seconds. Can you ask your question?
So,
you
Madam
engaging
Speaker,
other members.
those Tonse members were arrested. The members from the UPND had a meeting where they were, a public meeting where they were doing an endorsement, and they were not arrested. Your Honor the Vice President, do you have separate laws for the opposition and for the UPND? I submit, Madam Speaker.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I would like to thank the Honorable Member from Kushi South for that question, except he always premises his question with, you have 2 months. I think it will be very interesting to meet this Honorable Member in September somewhere. I think he will be in Mukushi. He will not be here. No, he will be in Mukushi. So we will probably make a trip to go and talk. Do you have 2 sets of laws? Okay. Honorable, I'm responding to, so ignore everything else. Let us hear. Don't worry. Madam Speaker, he asks whether there are 2 sets of laws in our country. Definitely there is only 1 set of laws. 1 set, which applies to everybody. Now, if the Honorable Member is talking about no permits have been given, people requested for permit, I think for me, I have no answers to that, because I'm not aware of the law he is referring to start with. I'm not aware. I am not aware of the law that asks political parties to ask for permits. So, I am not aware of that. So if you go asking for permit, maybe even the people you ask are not aware of that law. So the response will also be as vague as you who is asking. Otherwise, everybody has their own right. You talked of a meeting last week of Tonse, Madam. He spoke of Tonse Alliance, who were arrested. Can he bring evidence that Tonse actually put notification to the police? Did they? And who is Tonse? Is it a registered entity? All those are questions they should be able to respond to. You know, colleagues, let us just be real. We can't just put ourselves together and call ourselves Vonse. Then we go against the Tonse. And we should be attended to as an entity, recognized. No, please do the right thing. Go register your Tonse if you can. And you simply put in notification. The permit, I'm not aware. Those are the things, Madam, we used to get. Permit, no permit. And when we were in opposition, like this, we still have no permit. Because they are policemen who are thinking it's permit. There is no permit. It is notification. And then it has to be within, the new one says how many days? That is, let us follow the law. Let us follow the law. Everybody here has a right and a recognized entity, a recognized grouping. Then you should. And you can also go to court. Not to say you have arrested. You start, Madam, saying this government has arrested. Even if we arrest, even if government, meaning the executive, arrests, it does not imprison anybody. That is why there is the court. The court convicts. The court does not go around arresting people. The court adduces evidence. And each part of any matter has to produce evidence to say, you are not saying the truth about me. I didn't do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the prosecution will say you did one. And then the court will make a decision. You cannot talk of, people that have been convicted. Colleagues, and I'm speaking to mine. Don't go there. Don't come in this house in front here. Do things that tomorrow you will call people bad to you by your own behavior. If you think being in government is to amass wealth that you have not worked for, You may just have to explain one day. There is always a day. And I'm speaking to my people. There is always a day, Honorable. Just get what is due to you. For me, I ensure I get what is due to me. Beyond that, don't also abuse your office, because sometimes we say, no, I was doing business, but you are abusing the office to throw away other people. Please, when something happens, just reflect, introspect, and say, there was a mistake I made there. You start by saying, Lord, forgive me. And then the world can also forgive. In his own way, God knows how he forgives. But when you continuously say, I did nothing wrong, it is, I don't know, the courts can't convict your face. They convict based on evidence. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. The last member, the Honorable Member for Nalolo.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Your Honor, the Vice President, good morning. I just wanted to find out whether there was closure on the pollution issue in Chambeshi that went through the Kafue River, whether there's been closure in cleaning up the Kafue River. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and the Honorable Member for Nalolo for being, clear, short, and so on. But I thought the Minister had made a statement on this, Chambeshi. Is it Chambeshi or Sino? Sino in Chambeshi? Yeah, Sino in Chambeshi. There is no full closure, from my understanding, because in what do they call it? There is something under Zema that they give the actions. There are many things that Sino is supposed to have done. And therefore, you cannot say everything is done at the same time. For example, restoration order, they call it. You cannot say everything is done, but there are things that have been done. For example, the restoration of the tailing dams and construction of new tailing dams, inspected to ensure that any further operation will not result into another breach and spillage into any environment. That has been done. And therefore, Sino today is operating. But it doesn't mean that they have restored the cleaning up. I hope I'm saying something here because I'm speaking without notes. That doesn't mean that they have fully, unless because it has taken a bit of time, I'll ask for a brief. There were areas where we needed to do the cleaning in the rivers. But you can be assured that the issues of contamination of water is no longer an issue from Sino. But there is also the land, where the spillage went to the land where people were. I must state here that that land, most of it, was illegally occupied from the time Sino was given that piece of land for mining. Some people stayed there. Others even went there. But it was contaminated. Lawyers, I don't know what you call that, probably acquiescence in the basic law. Acquiescence. Because they had allowed them to stay for fear of what? Then you take them as people that have stayed there. So there is the program of resettling those people from the dangerous area. And the Office of the Vice President under resettlement is working on that. But always remember the polluter pays. It's not government going to resettle people. We just provide land, give them plans, and that process is still going on. The process of also restoring the land, we want to say because people will leave. There are things that the report has given of the consultant. What should be done, the planting of what, that is an ongoing until we are satisfied that the contamination is no longer, having an effect on people. But remember, we feared the rains, that when the rains come, the contamination will be thrown back into the river. That was done. They had to do a buffer so that if anything came, it would not reach the river. So processes are going, but if you hear Sino is operating, permission has been given through ZEMA that they are free because they are taming their tailings. Thank you.
Questions for oral answer understanding order number 82. The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The people of Lundazi are asking question number 229.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. There's an indication for a point of order. The Honorable Member from Pika, what is your point of order?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to raise a point of order. Madam Speaker, during the Vice President's question time, and in response to the question posed by the Honorable Member of Parliament from Kush South regarding the Tonse Alliance members who are being arrested, Her Honor the Vice President wondered if Tonse Alliance was a registered entity, and in her insinuation, only a registered entity could gather. Madam Speaker, the Constitution of Zambia guarantees every person the freedom to assemble and associate freely with others. And the Public Order Act, Madam Speaker, any person or individual or group who plans a public meeting, procession, or demonstration must notify the police in advance. This notice requirement aimed at allowing the police to help keep public order. It does not mean that only registered organizations or entities need to notify the police. Madam Speaker, the question that the Honorable MP asked sought a clarification from our Honor the Vice President following numerous arrests aimed at Tonse Alliance members under the able leadership of Honorable Brian Mundubire, the incoming President of the Republic of Zambia. Madam Speaker, was our Honor the Vice President, with due respect, in order to insinuate that only a registered entity, political entity in this matter, is supposed to gather, when the law is very clear? Every Zambian has the right to assembly or to associate with others. Madam Speaker, I seek your serious ruling. Thank you.
The Honorable Member for Mpika, you have debated your point of order. And from what I heard, Honor the Vice President, she said if there was evidence of any permit submitted to the police. So, however, since I ruled that you've debated your point of order, that point of order is not admissible. We were looking at the first question. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation. Do we have the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation to attend to question 229? Her Honor the Vice President, who is acting on the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation. Your Honor, you can proceed.
I am...
Order.
You didn't qualify.
Order. The Vice President has already risen.
I am Minister of the last resort, and he has a lot on his plate today. Yes. Yes.
Order. Order, honorable members.
There is no Severa in the house, madam. She's
Exactly.
She wants it to.
Honorable members, there is only Her Honor the Vice President.
Thank you.
Do you want to proceed, Her Honor the
Yes,
Vice
yes,
President?
Madam Speaker, thank you. The honorable member, Ms. B. Nerenda, honorable member for Parliament for Lundazi constituency, asks the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, and as Minister of Last Resort, I stand on that behalf, whether the government is aware that the collapse of the Lundazi and the Mukomba dams in Munyanzi and the Mukomba wards due to heavy rains has resulted in the failure to harvest and retain water, which may lead to a shortage of water supply later in the year in Lundazi parliamentary constituency. And B, if so, what urgent measures are being taken to repair the dams and ensure water availability throughout the year? In response, Madam Speaker, in response to the question asked by Ms. B. Nyirenda, the Honourable Member for Parliament for Lundazi Parliamentary Constituency, I wish to inform this august House that A, yes, government is aware of the collapse of the Lundazi and the Mukomba dams in Munyanzi and the Mukomba wards, respectively, due to floods. Madam Speaker, as an urgent measure to harvest water and ensure availability throughout the year, the Ministry has commenced the procurement of a contractor to rehabilitate the dam as well as construct a coffer dam at Lundazi dam site as a temporary measure to retain water. In addition, 6 million kwacha has been disbursed to Eastern Water and Sanitation Company for the rehabilitation of the existing water treatment plant. Further, government has equipped and operationalized 2 emergency boreholes located within the water treatment plant to supplement water supply. Government is also facilitating the equipping of 2 additional commercial boreholes that have been drilled to supplement the existing 2 boreholes. These boreholes will be directly connected to the water distribution network in Lundazi. Madam Speaker, as for Mukomba Dam in Mukomba Ward, the Ministry has earmarked the dam for a full feasibility study and detailed engineering designs in the second quarter of 2026 to facilitate for the rehabilitation works. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable Member for Shiwangandu.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Is
Madam
it a
Speaker.
point of order?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the standing procedure in this august House is such that the leader of government business, in this case the Vice President, fills in a gap as a Minister of Last Resort when members of the cabinet, ministers, are incapable of handling business assigned to them. We have witnessed some drama here, where there was no communication as to who was going to be acting Minister of water sector. And we saw the Honorable Minister responsible for animals also standing up, which looked like a rebellious act, Madam Speaker, because the minister cannot pretend over the Vice President. Madam Speaker, are those from cabinet office in order to embarrass our Honor the Vice President in this manner without coordinating business according to the procedures.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, this is a very serious omission
Yes.
which must be dealt with.
Yes.
I seek your very serious guidance because this house is a house of order and procedure. We know that they are tired and they are going very soon.
Order.
But they should observe procedure.
Yes.
I seek your serious guidance.
Yes.
Time is ticking.
Going to the village of Kaputa.
Yes.
The Honorable Member for Shiwangandu, I didn't see any embarrassment that we saw. I didn't see any embarrassment that was raised when the Honorable, Her Honor the Vice President stood up to answer the question. Honorable Member for Shiwangandu, your point of order is not admissible. You have not cited the breach. We make progress. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Her Honor the Vice President, the people of Lundazi are really concerned. The monies that you have indicated to say has been released, we could have seen maybe even sand or maybe blocks being taken to the eastern water site. Unfortunately, Her Honor the Vice President, right now, there is nothing that is happening, and if we do not harvest this water, considering that the rains are about to end, we are going to have a serious challenge in Lundazi. The people of Lundazi would like to know this morning, when are those contractors going to go on site, especially that water cannot wait for whatever procedures are taking place. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Her Honor the Vice President.
We are very orderly people. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I missed a bit, but I think finally the Honorable Member says they should have seen the money and the work should have started. Madam, this is still rainy season. You are talking of construction. You are talking of, yes, there is this construction just to reserve the water for the future. This government is aware, Madam. Madam, the Honorable Member must sometimes give some, appreciation where it is due. Lundazi has never been left alone since this calamity befell Lundazi. And why should we leave them alone for the future? The money is being facilitated. Like we have said over Makomba, it will be later done because the full feasibility has to be done. The other one, we already have created something just to store the water, which must go through processes. And we have, for now, enjoy today. Don't overthink tomorrow because we have plans for tomorrow. If there were no plans, you would be worried that what are you going to do? But madam, we will ensure that water is provided. For now, if there is a place without water, please come and say, this area, there is a problem. But we did boreholes, we have provided what we could, and we want a better job when the rains go down. So, Lundazi is part of Zambia, and we are seriously, as a government, looking at it, disaster management with water. We will go that. I hope you have told them that we even provided the seed to replant. That is the way we did, the seed and fertilizer, because there were crops that were washed away. We did that because there was an opportunity. Hopefully the crop is growing well, and hope there will be some harvest, so that we don't feed people throughout. This is how caring this government is, madam. Thank you. Don't worry. We are there.
The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Her Honor, the Vice President, you want me to appreciate you. We traveled together to Lundazi and we visited the people. You promised them that you are going to be there, and this is February. Let me just acknowledge that indeed you didn't just sit. You came to Lundazi, and for that, the people of Lundazi are grateful. The minister has visited. We are grateful. The only sad part is that the rains, we can't hold them. If it was something that we can hold, we would have said, okay, hold on until such a time. Her Honor, the Vice President, the second question that the people of Lundazi have.
What is your question?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Is that during this period that these structures at Eastern Water are destroyed, the people of Mpamba area, they do not have any water. Even despite the 2 boreholes that have been sunk in that place, at the moment, they are not receiving any water, and it's going to 2 months now from the time that you and me visited. The question that they have for you, Her Honor, the Vice President, as a follow-up, is to find out, would it be evil or would it be possible for you to be able to sink at least even just 2 boreholes if Eastern Water cannot provide for those people who are in that area because of the same challenge before the coffer dam is done? I submit.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thought what I read was really enough. It is not just the 2 boreholes. If the commercial ones are not yet installed, you come. You know, I know that sometimes you want to, then you want to make your questions here. So should we not respond outside and wait until the MP speaks in Parliament? Because the Honorable knows we can chat. Because what I read, remember I also referred to 2 commercial boreholes. If it is not done, just come and say, this is not done. We follow up through our people. But if we are going to say something has happened, we will wait because it has to come on the floor of the House. That is not the way we should work. Because here, I've referred to things that are happening. I'm trying to see if I can find those. Yeah. We said 2 emergency.
You have visited their Honor.
Is this my office, you? This is... here, I was saying, government, now she's here. Madam, send her back.
The Honorable Member, kindly go back. And you are disturbing her. Let her finish responding to your question, and then you can come back.
The madam has said go. She's disobeying your command.
The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
You are distracting Her Honor, the Vice President. She wants to finish responding to your question.
Madam, I read in... She hopes to be here one day. You can join us, madam. Join us. Government is also facilitating the equipping. I talked of 2 emergency boreholes, and I said government is also facilitating the equipping of 2 additional commercial boreholes that have been drilled to supplement the existing 2 boreholes. These boreholes will be directly connected to the distribution. So if the Honorable thinks this is not happening, this is why I'm saying, let her come. We hear where they are stuck, because I can't answer here. This is what we are doing. And I think I also said something else where I said the ministry has commenced the procurement of a contractor to rehabilitate the dam, as well as to construct a coffer a coffer dam at Lunda's dam site as a temporary measure to retain the water. So it's just to retain the water. This water may not be distributed because there is need for treatment. Thank you, Madam.
The last member, the Honorable Member for Kasenengwa. The Honorable Member for Kasenengwa. Unmute yourself.
Madam Speaker,
Honorable.
maybe, am I audible?
You are now.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Actually, mine, Madam Speaker, is a point of order. Mine, Madam Speaker, is a point of order. Madam Speaker, I've been listening to the segment for Her Honor the Vice President, and the Honorable Member for Pemba asked a question to Her Honor the Vice President about the chiefs that will be traveling from different parts of the country to attend the Nchwala. In his
The
submission,
Honorable
Madam,
Member for Kasenengwa, just to save on time, we've passed that segment. There was a question after the segment by Her Honor the Vice President. You should have brought it when we were dealing, or when we were on the first question, just after Her Honor the Vice President's question time.
I was
But
not
we are on
allowed
the
to be.
second one.
I was not allowed to be connected, Madam Speaker, so I had to physically communicate to IT because the member for Pemba issued a very wrong statement, and I'm here in Eastern Province where I'm seated with.
Order, Honorable Member. I think we are looking at our own standing orders. Can you find another way of presenting that matter? It does not qualify at this point to be raised as a point of order. We make progress.
Noted, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Next question. The Honorable Member for Chinsali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 230. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And in response to the question asked by Mr. Kalalwe Mkosa, Member of Parliament for Chinsali, who asked the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation to A, how many community boreholes were dysfunctional in the Chinsali district as of September 2025, B, whether the government has any plans to rehabilitate the dysfunctional boreholes, C, if so, when the rehabilitation exercise will commence, D, whether the government has any plans to drill new boreholes in the district in 2026, E, if there are no such plans, why? In response, Madam, to the question, I wish to inform this august House that A, as of September 2025, Chinsali district had a total of 334 boreholes, out of which 270 are functional boreholes and 64 are non-functional. B, Madam Speaker, yes, government does not have plans to rehabilitate the dysfunctional boreholes through the Nexus Energy and Water NUSA program. C, the rehabilitation of dysfunctional boreholes will commence in 2026. Sorry, the other answer. The government does have the plans. Thank you. Sorry for that. Then C, the rehabilitation of dysfunctional boreholes will commence in 2026 under the Nexus Energy and Water NUSA program. D, D, Madam Speaker, for the year 2026, government plans to drill 9 new boreholes in Chinsali district to improve water supply. E, as earlier stated, the government has plans to rehabilitate dysfunctional boreholes as well as drill new boreholes in Chinsali district.
Thank you. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Chinsali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Her Honor, the Vice President, for the response to this question. And I am grateful that government has intentions to rehabilitate these 64 boreholes that are non-functional in Chinsali. Madam Speaker, you have indicated that these boreholes are going to be rehabilitated in 2026. So I would like to find out when exactly in 2026 these boreholes are going to be rehabilitated. Is it in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, or when? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Before Her Honor comes on board, there's an indication for a point of order. The Honorable Member for Shiwangandu, what is your point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I can assure you this is my last point of order this time around. Madam Speaker, I rise on a point of order citing the Powers and Privileges Act, Cap 12, the laws of Zambia. Madam Speaker, we as members of Parliament are covered with immunity from this piece of legislation to ensure that the business we conduct here is protected and our freedoms are protected. Madam Speaker, we have received concerns that the UPND has started punishing and harassing some members of Parliament who are suspected to have voted against the Bill 7. When, Madam Speaker, this House up to now
Order.
Has not been availed with the votes and proceedings record pertaining to the business that was transacted when the bill was going for the second and third reading in this August House, which is against the procedure because that record is supposed to be availed to all of us within 24 hours after a sitting. Is the UPND in order, Madam Speaker, to continue harassing and punishing innocent members of their party who are protected by this law? I'm a member of Parliament. Just keep quiet. Is the one who is the one who is
Honorable Member for Shiwangandu, are you done with your point of order?
Madam Speaker, we are worried as members of Parliament that we can be subjected. Madam Speaker, are we in order in this House to allow our colleagues to be punished for performing their parliamentary duties diligently protected by the law? I seek your serious guidance.
Order. The Honorable Member for Shiwangandu, when you are raising a point of order, you are supposed to be specific. You talked about, I think you mentioned 2 or 3 issues, not releasing the voter whatever. Then you talked about the harassment by members. I will not take that point of order. It's not admissible because in this House, we are not allowed to debate ourselves. So if you've got an issue, Honorable Member for Shiwangandu, please find another platform where you can air that matter. So your point of order, Honorable Member for Shiwangandu, is not admissible. We make progress. Her Honor, the Vice President, will respond to the question that was raised.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You can even lose track, but I think the honorable member wanted to know when the rehabilitation of the boreholes will be done. In 2026, the answer is in the second quarter.
Thank you. The honorable member for Chinsali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will be gladly waiting for those boreholes to be rehabilitated in the second quarter. Madam Vice President, these 9 new boreholes that that the government is going to drill in Chinsali in the year 2026, are they going to be commercial boreholes or just ordinary boreholes? Then I would also like you to enlighten us if you have identified the areas where exactly they will be drilled, and if possible, the cost. But if maybe that information is not there, we can understand, Madam Vice President. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Her Honor, the Vice President.
Thank you, honorable member. I think the end of the matter is very, very important. But it is on the type, I can tell you that there will be domestic equipped with hand pumps. Those are the type. And I hope you won't ask me when. But I am a little disappointed in ourselves here. This is looking back to CDF. When I personally watch communities that still don't have water, then I say we missed a point. Because the guidance from CDF was let us start with water. I am speaking to all of us here. There should be no question of communities that don't have water. That was a priority on the CDF, as was the desks. We were giving guidance on the way we should have proceeded. So when you hear certain communities have no water they are sharing with animals, it's very painful, because I thought that phase should have been passed. So, indeed, Honorable, these will be domestic with hand pumps. But you can do something on the same. Thank you.
As the time is 10:41, I suspend business for 20 minutes for healthy break.
Good morning. You're tuned in to Parliament Television. Business will resume at 11 hours, and that was Her Honor, the Vice President, responding to a follow-up question that was posed by Chinsali lawmaker, Mr. Kalulu Mukosa. He did ask the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation how many community boreholes were non-functional in Chinsali district as of 2025, and whether the government has any plans to rehabilitate the non-functional boreholes, and when these non-functional boreholes will actually be dug. And the Vice President sitting in for the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation was actually responding to some follow-up questions there. And so that's question 230, understanding order number 80. We expect 2 more questions to be addressed on the floor of the House, understanding order number 80. In case you've just joined us, earlier on we did have a business statement that was made by Her Honor, the Vice President, who's also leader of government business. She did present a business statement for the period 3rd to 6th March 2026 and 17th to 20th March 2026. And of course, later we did have Her Honor, the Vice President's question time, a segment that gives members of Parliament an opportunity for them to ask Her Honor, the Vice President, questions without notice. And after that segment, there was 1 question for oral answer, understanding order number 82. That was, considered on the floor of the House. And just about now, we equally take a break. Join us in a short while.